Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Words I Choose to Live By. I'm Cyrus Webb, joined by our co-host today. We have Tina Siemens, Melissa Banks, and Dr. Velma Bagby. So glad you all could be with us on social media. I'm going to go ahead and connect with our friends over there on Instagram and also our friends on Amazon Live so we can begin our conversation. I was just saying to the group, it's a great message for us to kick off another great week. And we are live on Amazon Live for Words I Choose to Live By. If you can believe it's week number 11 of 2025. We're, of course, discussing my book. You guys can see there, even with the glare. I'm going to go ahead and highlight my copy here over on Amazon. We're joined by our co hosts, Tina, Melissa, and Dr. Velma. How's everyone doing today?
Doing great.
Doing
Very
good.
good.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. If you guys are new to us on the Amazon side, welcome. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button. We have a programming here 6 days a week and a very special episode of Amazon Live coming this week, something we've never done before. You don't want to miss it. So hit that follow button either here in this corner or down below. Even my co-hosts don't know anything about it. So make sure you guys do hit the follow button so you guys can get all the information. But everyone, we're on week number 11 of my book. And this message is really, I think, the epitome of everything that I'm about. Make your actions count. And so the message is found on page number 31. Today, you have the unique opportunity to build up or tear down, encourage or destroy. With every thought, word, or action, you can literally change the way someone feels about themselves and others. Choose to use that power wisely. And this is something, as someone who's been in the public now for a while, I have really taken this message to heart. But I have to say, I had my grandmother and my mother to really help me with this too, because my grandmother used to always tell me, "You're going to do great things, but don't get the big head, and never forget that everyone's the same." So I grew up with that being instilled in me, and so I always try to be careful about the way I treat individuals and also the things I say. Now, the things I say sometimes, even though they're not meant to be hurtful, sometimes I'm a little blunt. But I do realize the power that comes out of our mouths. But also, I think the greater message for us all here. Hey, good to be to see you over there, Melanie, over on IG. But the greater message for all of us is that all of us have that power. All of us have the power to be able to encourage someone or to make them feel bad about themselves. We have that power to be able to evoke change or to just go along with the status quo. And I think the important thing that all of us have to decide is how we can use that power wisely and also make our actions count. So enough from me. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to the group. Tina, you're kicking us off today. How important has it been for you, Tina, to make sure that you're making your actions count in your life?
It is such an important decision on a daily basis, sometimes moment by moment, because you might come across somebody that just needs an encouragement. So what kind of encouragement word can I send to other might need advice. So every opportunity that we get to speak to somebody, we make the choice on whether we are feeling what they're going through or what they're asking us. So the power of my words are powerful. I was reminded of the verse in Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue.
Yeah.
That is everyone's power to
Right.
either speak life or, like Cyrus just said, tear down, speak death or some. So for me, when I lay my head down at night, my reflection of the day, have I spoken life into everyone that crossed my path? And that is my daily goal and desire to do so.
Yeah, such an important thing. Thank you for kicking us off, Tina. Dr. Vanna, what about for you? How important has it been for you to make sure that your actions count?
My action today had to count. I tried to talk myself out of pressing forward. There's a lot of personal challenges I had to face this week and will be facing in the upcoming week. So the
Mhm.
question for me was, can I handle this morning? Can I press forward? And as I prayed about it, I felt God telling me, yes, press forward. And so sometimes it's in your actions, you have to be careful that it's not a reaction. Because some
Mm,
you can react to what you're experiencing, what you're going through in that moment. But the
yeah.
goal is to take action, like you said. And so, just as Tina said, I thought about Proverbs 23 and 7 that said, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." We have to be determined in our hearts to do what we need to do. Sometimes the thoughts can throw you off because you could be thinking, "I don't feel like it. I'm having a tough day. I don't know if I can do it." That's what you're thinking. But what's in your heart, what you have been compelled to do in each new day, is to press forward. So as I believe, think it in my heart, as I believe I can do it, as I believe I can push forward, as I believe that this is possible for me, then I convince, and I'm going back to Melissa, the queen of affirmation, and saying, affirming what I know I have been called to do, and pulling up my bootstraps and pushing forward. And this is what I had to do today. So I'm going to say with something that Tina said. She gave us the measurement, gave us some measurements once, and one of the things that she said. So here's a measurement for all of us. There's 18 inches from your head to your heart.
Mm.
That's all it takes. And you want to make sure that you're moving, acting upon what you know your heart says you need to do, not reacting to what your thoughts say in that moment.
Love that. I tell you, we're getting scripture, we're getting science, we're getting everything. And see, this is what you guys get when you come to Words I Choose to Live By. You get a little bit of everything. Melissa, what about for yourself? How important has it been for you to make sure that your actions count?
When I read when I read this, I think about my journey. I think about the things that have stuck with me, whether they were good things or bad things, but those things that have stuck with me are the power of the words. It's how
Mhm.
the words that come out of your mouth when you're speaking to someone, it's the words that will take them forward. I can remember some very negative things being told to me, so I felt that way. So when I speak to
Mm,
someone, I try to be intentional about what I say, how they're going to feel after I say it. Have you ever even been just sitting around family and somebody says something, just abruptly says something, and it hits you to your core, and
Mhm.
they're not even aware of it? They're just speaking it. But that was one of the biggest lessons that I learned on my journey. Is the words I say are so powerful, and that's what will uplift someone or tear someone down. So when I open my mouth, whether I'm talking to a stranger or somebody I know very well, I still try to make sure that my words will uplift them and encourage them, because that's what they will remember years down the road. They're going to remember how my words made them
Yeah.
feel when they
Yeah.
walked away, and that's how I deal with it, and that's how I choose to want to receive it as well, so that it is uplifting. Because once you walk away for somebody, you don't even know what you just said. You said it off the top of your head, but you don't even know how it impacted the rest of their day. So
Yeah.
just to be encouraging, choose my word carefully, and think about the other person when I speak to them.
Mhm.
yeah, that's such a great point. And Melissa just hit on something, which is why my book is entitled what it is. And I want to say, for those of you who are watching us on Amazon, you will notice that as each one of our co-hosts were speaking, I was highlighting their latest book. There we have highlighted right now the new book by Melissa Banks, "A Dream by Design: Affirmations for Young Girls and Their Mothers." Earlier, you saw also the 30-Day Wild Journal with Dr. Velma, and also Post Oak, the newest book from Tina. So you can be able to get those books there in the carousel. But Melissa hit on something, which is why I chose to call the book "Words I Choose
Mhm.
to Live By." Because it's very easy for all of us, myself included, to focus on the negative, to only
Yep.
think about the negative. But that's a choice. That's a
Yeah.
choice that we make, right? So I choose to find something better. And I think that is the equalizer for all of us today. Dr. Pam, I want to go to you with the second question though, because I mentioned in this, with every thought, word, or action, you can literally change the way someone feels about themselves and others. One thing I didn't say here though, we can always also change the way that we think about ourselves too.
Yeah.
So I want to
Yeah.
talk about that for you as we go throughout the second round. How important has it been for you to realize the power that you have when it comes to not only your own life, but also impacting the lives of others?
Well, ditto to everything that my co-hosts have said so far, because it really is about, you said, words I choose to live by, which are the words I choose to believe. And so if you don't believe, I mean, there are a lot of words you can paste it on the wall, put it, read it in a book, all kinds of positive affirmations, but if you don't believe them, they're just words to you. So it's words you choose. So you choose to believe what you just read. You choose to act on what you just saw in those words. So you
Mhm.
choose to embrace them, and that's what's important to me. Like I said in the beginning, this is not an easy journey for me right now in my life, but I choose to come on and be with my co-host today. I'm thinking something they're going to say today will even inspire me. I had enough words in my heart to press forward and come, but maybe I needed a little more in my tank. So sometimes that's what we need too. Sometimes you can't believe, and maybe you're doing okay with what you believe, but sometimes there are people who come along your cross your path and needs just a little more in their tank, and so you have to be ready to do that. So that's what I press forward to receive today from my co-hosts, and they've already done that for me. So I think it's important for you to choose, which is what you said at the title of the book. The words I choose to live by means these are the words I believe. I have to hold on to these as I move forward.
Love that. Melissa, how important has it been for you to realize the power your words have, not only on others, but also yourself?
I think it begins with me, because if the words I say to myself are not uplifting and powerful and positive, then I'm not going to pour that out to anyone else. So it begins with me. What I have found, Cyrus, that is when I can focus on something to be grateful for, no matter what's going on, whether it's a good day, whether it's not a so good day, whether I'm getting lots of yeses or lots of no's, if I'm focusing on something that I can be grateful for, and I'm listing those things in my head. I saw someone say recently, literally write them down on paper when you need to get your focus straight. Just write them down, things that you're grateful for. Start a list and then focus on that list. And if you focus on the list of things you're grateful for, those things that are not happening doesn't have power over your thoughts, and then that's not what you give out. So that would be my advice to anybody. Start with yourself. Make sure you're talking to yourself. The conversation in your head is the conversation that will determine your life and what you feed to other people.
So true. Hello to you, Robert Ham. Good to see you over there on Facebook. Glad you could join us. Tina, what about for you? How important has it been for you to realize the power your words have, not only for yourself, but also others?
Well, I've got this quote in my kitchen area. It says, "Be careful what you think. Your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your character, and the character is everything." For us to do exactly this, I had so many amazing experiences this past week and a half because my community has been in the news so much with the measles outbreak. And so I have had so many amazing opportunities not to, when the negative words came, I had to realize, well, they just don't know the community as well as I do. So it gave me an opportunity to just give facts about the community, and that made them soften their thinking, or others that would just came to want to learn more. I had the opportunity to speak life into them, to just let them know what I know my community to be, and that it is a supportive community. So for me to be able to talk one-on-one with a mom that was dealing with her children being sick, or a reporter, or somebody that was from the medical field, so many opportunities that I could speak into them the true atmosphere of my community. It is so easy to judge from afar, but once you're in it, then if you meet up with somebody that knows your community and that can speak on behalf of a larger group of people, for me to be able to do that has been such an amazing privilege, and I have just enjoyed every moment of it because it was something that I could be living on purpose, in my purpose.
Yeah. I was saying to Tina, everyone who's watching and listening, I was saying to Tina, I had a chance to read some of the interviews she's been able to be a part of, and one thing I can say that's very consistent with the Tina Siemens that shows up here on Words is that there was nothing negative in what she had to say, and it was Tina. The words were Tina, and I think that again shows that whether we're talking about something that's written or something that's spoken, the power that we can have there. So, Melissa, that leads us to you. What would you say to our audience then about the importance of realizing the power they can have on the world today?
Well, it determines your life, right? So if you wake up every day and you think positive thoughts, that's why I believe in affirmation so much, because it always depends right there. It starts right there. When you wake up every day saying those affirmations, then that's what you believe, and that's your power. That gives you the power to go out and to face the world and to uplift someone else. When someone's standing next to you and they say, "Your story just empowered me," you find something encouraging to say to that person. I was in a store and I simply said, "Do you make wigs?" And it led to her being able to share where she was so I could uplift her. If you start with yourself, pour positive affirmations in yourself, be positive about your life, because when you pour in positive, positive comes out. And then you can impact someone else, because every time you show up, every time you open your mouth, you have an opportunity to uplift and destroy. Choose to uplift and choose your words carefully. Your mannerisms and how you interact with people encourages them or tears them down. Be conscious of it and know that that power is within you.
Yeah, being conscious of
Yeah.
it is so important, and it's not always easy too. And I
Yeah.
think this is the other thing I would just interject really quickly to say that for a lot of us, and it was brought out earlier, we may say things or something comes across a certain way that we may not even be the way that we meant it to be. But
Mhm.
again, being aware of that, being aware of what we say. My aunt used to tell me, just because you think something doesn't mean you always have to say it. Um, I'm working on that, but I think that you know, all of us, all of us have something that we have to work on.
Oh
Tina,
my God.
Tina, what about for you? What would you say to our audience today about embracing the power that they have within themselves?
Hmm.
Well, I think the tone of delivery, the words can be comforting and positive, but if I don't deliver in my tone or in my actions, then those are empty words. So for my actions to match and the tone to match my message is going to be whether the other person is uplifted or trodden down. And so I'm just so grateful that we have the power to choose how we deliver our message to somebody else.
Right.
Such a great point. And Dr. Velma, what about for yourself? What would you say to our audience then about the importance of realizing the power they have?
I think it's important that, going back to the title of the book, Words I Choose, it's a choice. You get to choose life or death, as Tina said. And then my other co host, who I refer to as the Queen of Affirmations, I do that in a loving way because both these women that I'm on this panel with are true uh, experts in their field, in the field of affirmations, in the field of building, in the field of loving and supporting and encouraging others. I love that about them. It's important for us to recognize that when I talked about there's a difference between your action and your reaction. We can react to a whole bunch of things that come across our path. We can, and take the wrong approach. But we also have to remember that if we slow down a little bit and really examine what we're facing and look at what we're facing, get out of our head about it, so those thoughts don't take you down a path that you shouldn't go down, and really embrace what should happen in that moment. So I say, my co-host mentioned life and death in the tongue, but also there's dead words. Don't hold
Right.
on to those things that won't get you anywhere. So let go of those dead words and embrace those words that bring life, those affirmations, going back to that, those things that will bring life into the situation that you're facing. So that would be my recommendation. Get rid of the dead stuff because it won't amount to anything, and
Mhm.
embrace what brings life and will breathe life into the situation that you're facing.
Love that. Great message. Again, everyone, week number 11 from my book, Word That Choose to Live By. I have it highlighted for you guys on the carousel on the Amazon side of our broadcast. There we are with a little less glare. Again, the message for today is make your actions count. It's a great reminder for all of us as we're going throughout the week. I also want to recognize our radio audience tuning in at Max WYED 94.1 FM and WYEDonline.com. And I think for all of us, this is something. Again, it's a daily process, but it's something
Mhm.
all of us have the power to do. So I appreciate everyone's thoughts today. Great conversation as always. Tina, let our audience know how can they stay connected with you.
Thank you so much for this powerful message. It has fueled me to go into my day and just give words of affirmation and words of life into everyone that I'll cross paths with today. But I'd love to hear from you. You can find me as Tina Siemens. Uh, Contact me at seminalthebook.com. Can't wait to hear from you.
Thank you, Tina. Appreciate that. Dr. Velma, how can they stay connected with you?
Thank you, Cyrus, for the conversation today. And I'm so grateful for my two other co-hosts. I appreciate being on the panel with you both. You can reach me by going to drvelmabagby.com. Please subscribe. I'm on all social media platforms, and I look forward to hearing from you.
All right. Thank you. Melissa Banks, how can they stay connected with you?
I'm honored to be on this panel. It's definitely encouraged me and uplifted me today, and I thank you all for that. Remember, you have the power, and you have the power to choose whether you're going to be positive or negative. The power lies within you. You can connect with me at themelissabanks.com.
All right, Melissa, thank you so much for that. I want to remind our audience, too, of course, all of our co-hosts, all of their books are in the carousel on the Amazon side. Again, if you guys are on Amazon, it's either on the side here or down below. For those of you who are joining us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, you'll find a link that will bring you over to Amazon to get them. Those joining us on X, you'll see it in the comment section. Those joining us on Instagram, we'll make sure that we put it in the stories. I also want to remind you guys that it is National Reading Month. So I have some great items from some of the brands that we're working with this month to be able to highlight that. So if you're a bookie yourself or you know a bookie, I have two of our figurines that are here. This one, you can see the large one. This one has a gold book with it. You can get this one for $18.99. It also is a paperweight. So not only, of course, looks nice on your desk, but also it's a paperweight. A great way to get caught reading. And then I have this one. You can see it has a white book with it. And I love the design of this one. This one is $15.97. So these are some great gifts for those book lovers that you have or for yourself. I love the design of them. Of course, keep in mind that they are ceramic. So, of course, you want to be careful with that. They are packaged very well. I love the way that they're packaged. But these are great to be able to sit up on your desk. But also, as I mentioned, great gift ideas for teachers or those book lovers. So I want to make sure I mention those as we're going throughout National Reading Month. Panel, thank you again for a really insightful conversation and looking forward to seeing you guys next week.
Thank you, Cyrus.
More than welcome. And we thank you all for tuning in to another great segment of Words I Choose to Live By. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.